The multi-talented Steve Martin is with us this morning. His new book, An Object of Beauty, is a novel about an ambitious woman's climb through the New York art world. And Steve is with us live in the studio this morning. Good morning.
Hi, Harry.
I know this woman. I know this Lacey. Not necessarily from the art world.
Right. She's been around in everybody's life probably at one time or another.
Phenomenally attractive. And that amazing ability to find the most powerful people in the room, like with a tractor beam almost.
I know, but you say phenomenally attractive. You know, people who read the book believe that, but nowhere in the book is she described as phenomenally attractive. In fact, she's really the second tier of beauty,
Right.
and she's always aware of that, and she's able to compensate with charm and spider-like tactics.
Spider-like the webs she weaves.
Yes.
What a great setting for a book for me, because the art world is so interesting on so many levels.
I think it is too. I've been on the periphery of it. I mean, not being a dealer or artist myself, and I've always been enchanted by it. I think it's fast, it's intriguing, there's crime, there's fakery, there's forgery, and there's also, by the way, very decent people. I have many, many friends in the art world, and they're exciting, and artists are very interesting. I find dealers to love art. You know, there's a cliche that they're just in it for the money, but they're not. I've had fascinating conversations.
Well, and there's amazing amounts of money, and there are these objects of beauty and desire.
Right. At the core of it all are these fantastically beautiful things that all the art world swirls around.
Yeah. Thank goodness there are illustrations in this book. I like books with pictures.
I was told, you know, when you're writing today on a computer, it was so easy. There's as an Andy Warhol flowers painting, picture, silkscreen, and it was so easy just suddenly to drop pictures in on my computer. And when
as you were writing?
Yes, as I was writing. And at first, I just wanted to do it with one picture because I found it very important to illustrate this one Ed Ruscha painting, because it's crucial to a particular scene in the book.
That's a museum burning?
The LA County Museum on fire. And when I went to the publishers, I said, look, if I can do it and print it out on my home computer, you can do it. Usually all the illustrations, you know, are bunched in the center, and as soon as a reader buys the book, they immediately go and look at all the pictures.
You're going back and forth.
But I was able to get the illustrations to fall right when they're talked about, and I just love that, that we were able to do that in
It
this
feels
book.
like a movie. Is it going to be made into a movie?
I have no idea. I didn't write it as a movie at all. But
none whatsoever.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you
it's
remember
hard enough to write it as a book. You know?
Do you remember the first time you saw a picture, a painting, or a work of art, and you said, I'm moved by this?
Yes. And by the way, it was a terrible painting. But that's the way you begin. You know, you cultivate your knowledge.
So you have to share what it was then.
Well, I still own it. It's a little 19th century seascape. By James Gale Tyler. You would never have heard of him. And it was a little ship at sea into the moonlight, reflected on the water. That's a big topic
in the book.
And I paid $300 for it in about 1967.
Wow.
And today, that painting is worth $300.
But you remember the first time you saw something.
Oh, I thought it was so beautiful and so romantic and so
you would
beautiful.
never give it up, I bet.
Why do you ask?
If the price is right. I'm going to jump very quickly because I know you have a movie in the works, and I knew you were fascinated by Jack's animals.
Yes.
And this movie is about bird watching?
Bird watching. It's called The Big Year. It stars, but it's way next year. Jack Black and Owen Wilson.
All right.
But I have a banjo record will be out before that. We'll talk about that next time. Well, you want to go over and look at the animals?
I do, but can I just say, you know, I'm a fairly accomplished tuba player, and I think tuba and banjo, in certain instances, go well together.
You know what? Now that I think about it, you're completely wrong. You know, the last time I saw you was in Central Park, and you were on your bike.
Yes.
And you scared me because I think, as I recall, you had one of these like
I had all the bike
pilot helmets on. And I thought you were a crazy guy.
Yeah. Well, it's usually the reverse that it tends to be true, but in my case, you were right. Steve, very good to see you.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
All right, great book.